Hello and welcome to Magetalk, the Magetalk Community Podcast. I'm Kalen.
I'm Philip. Oh, we're live.
Look at that.
Can
we're
I
live.
share this? Am I able to share
dude.
this?
Get on those shares. We got to get some shares out
Dude,
while we're
holy cow.
How
many days, like off the top of your head, let's do like an over-under thing.
Okay.
Price is Right rules. How
Got
many
it.
days? How many days are we from Imagine?
How many days from Imagine? 43 and a
I think
half.
we're 43 days. It's May 13th. So let me without
May
the
13th.
goose.
Oh my gosh. Wait, are you serious? It's May 13th?
May 13th.
I was exactly right.
No, it's not.
Oh no. 40. Yeah, I'm gonna be exactly right. If it's everybody's gonna think we pre-planned that. We did
42
not.
days. 40. You're really close.
Dude,
42 days. That was close.
Respect the estimation skills.
Do you want a project management job at something digital? We could use our estimation skills.
I did tweet. I did tweet earlier today that I'm looking for a job. So.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Did you really tweet that? Are you for real?
I did. Yeah, I'm looking for a job.
That's cool.
So hit me up.
Bored.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Do they have to accept your newfound masculinity where you're grilling all the time and the beard and all that?
They do. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, for SD, I'd go full metro because just because I know that's expected. I don't even know if I got the live chat pulled up. Let me get the live chat pulled up. Man, it's like everybody forgot what day it was today.
Yeah.
You know what day it is today?
It's April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about April Fool's Day, right? It's also my daughter's birthday, so I forget that it's April Fool's Day. So I'll tell you, I have been had so many times today. It's happened on more than one occasion today where I'm like outraged over something I just read, and then I was like, oh wait, what day is it again?
Dude, I think isn't it also Myra's birthday on
is it Teeters? Is it Teeters' birthday?
I want to say I think it is.
Myra, happy birthday.
Shout out to Myra, who's your assistant, correct?
She fired me.
She fired you. Well, good on her. That's some strong essentialism right there.
It is. She's like, you need more help than any one person can give you. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay.
I need to hire a whole team of people, I guess.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, moving right.
But we have a very good relationship. Myra and I are good buds.
That's good. That's good. Go. Why don't you talk for a while as everybody knows that you.
And you're gonna tweet.
And I'm gonna
tweet a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna social this up a little bit. So
I'm gonna social it too. What is that? Did you buy a bird?
No.
What sound was that?
It was probably a bird because I'm in my garage with the garage door open, and this is my new thing, man. This is my new vibe. Okay, I'm in the garage. I'm seeing here. Let me show you what we're seeing. Here's what we're seeing. Try not to get the car license plate in there. We're out here. The birds are singing. Cars are driving by.
Freaking love it.
Contractors are working on things, and I'm out here, dude. I'm doing my thing.
Dude, I want you to throw a dart at that dartboard and let me see how it goes. Do it.
Let's get it.
Do it. I want to see this.
I got to take the headset out.
Is everybody ready for this? This is quality podcast. I'll set the scene. I'll tell you what it is. There's a dartboard in the background. It's about maybe 10 yards back. There's a dart. Oh.
Nailed
it. That was good.
Nailed it.
You're almost ready to go to Meet Magento UK and hang with the Brits and play some darts.
Are they big into darts? Is that a UK thing?
Yeah, it's a big dart culture.
I did not realize it was that was it makes sense though, because they got to stay indoors like 11 and a half months out of the year. So you got to find indoor sporting activity.
11 and a half months. There's that one beautiful 2-week period where you can go out.
I got to find indoor activities for 3-4 months, man. It is no joke, dude. It is no joke. Can we talk about your album for a little bit?
Okay, I'd love to.
I literally did a whole Periscope on this morning, and I think Periscope didn't say. Yeah, I did. Here's the thing. When I saw it land on the weekend, I was like, holy cow, I've never had a friend drop an album before. I was like, what in the world? And then I was listening to it, and then I remembered that you've been telling me that you've been recording an album forever.
Yeah.
And you've been telling me about your whole essentialism thing. And I see it in our relationship. I see you pulling back from certain things. Like, you decided which commitments to keep, right? Magetalk you keep, future commerce. And then like the other day I was like, hey man, want to go live in like 10 minutes? And you're like, yeah, how about like next week? And I was like, that's that thing where like and you talked about, I guess this is before we started recording, you talked about triathlon and I see you prioritizing your family trips, and I think it's beautiful. And then I'm like, and your career is skyrocketing, SD's blowing up, you're doing Imagine, and then an album drops. I'm like, who even drops an album? And it just went to show me that like less is more,
Yeah,
I made that the topic of my Periscope, my little motivational career advice oriented Periscope, and it was all about you.
Oh, thanks, man. Gosh,
yeah.
I feel like I kind of learned that from you to some degree. I've been very jealous for a few years of sort of your like Pomodoro-esque sort of. Maybe that's not the right word, but it's like.
I feel like a decent word. I think you just coined something.
Yeah, you compartmentalize time pretty well, and you really have deep periods of focus. I remember a few years ago, you and I did a hackathon together where we wrote that Unhack or Core Unhacker. Like it creates a module, a Magento module that moves core modifications out into like into override.
Oh yeah,
modules, which was. Watching you work was like a masterclass in deep focus and productivity, and gave me a lot of respect for the way that you're able to sort of shut off distraction. I have lived for 20 years in like a constantly distracted state.
Yeah. That's what's been crazy, is seeing the change. Cause like I remember when you were just sort of in that always on kind of a mode, and seeing the change has been wild.
Yeah.
And
people, because it is April 1st, they're gonna think you're joking. I literally did drop a music album.
That's hilarious. I know.
Yeah. That's probably why no one's looking at it, because they thought it was an April Fool's joke.
Oh,
I get it now.
See, this is the blessing and the curse of April Fools.
It kind of is. Yeah, so I gave this talk, which I'm working on developing for, maybe depends on how Imagine is shaping up. We're putting some final touches on programming, but you might hear about more of this at Imagine. But I did this sort of like tree or like almost like a radar graph of, here's all the things I think are important in my life, and I mapped them out, and I said, I want to be a good father. I want to be a good husband. I want to be a musician. I want to be a world traveler, and an adventure seeker. And I want to invest in my own, physical body, so that I, actually have it 60 years from now, 40 years from now. Like I want to, like, all these things are important to me. And then when you sit down and you're like, you go back and look at your calendar every single week, and you're really honest with yourself of where you're spending your time, you'll see big gaping holes of like, here's all the places I don't spend any time. I don't spend any time being a musician, right? And if that's important to who I want to be as an identity, as a person, then you have to make time for it. You have to like aggressively plan, things around it and set goals. And so, yeah, the whole sort of essentialism kick of 2017, 2018 really paid off in that I made a little bit of time. It's like, how do you write a book? You just make a little bit of time every day, right? And you write a little bit every day. People like Cal Evans blow my mind, because that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, I wrote 700 words today, and they keep themselves accountable every day, because a little bit of progress every day, at the end of the year, you're like, holy cow, what just happened? Like I got all this stuff done. So yeah, Jackie and I set out to write an entire album, the three of, well, six, it's effectively 6 songs. It's an EP. But it's myself, my wife, and a woman from our church who is a gifted writer as well. And the three of us just sat down and we started writing with this awesome community of musicians that we've got. And then, yeah, just a little bit of progress every day. And I recorded all of it on all of my own equipment, and I played all of the keyboard and all the guitar, and my brother-in-law played drums, and we had this guy John who's amazing that played bass, and we sang on it, we produced it all ourselves, and it's amazing what you can accomplish when you actually like carve out time to make time for those things that are important. But
I think there's a saying, you underestimate what can get done in 10 years, and you overestimate what can get done tomorrow or the next week or something like that. And it's very true.
It's crazy. Well, thanks for taking notice of it.
Yeah, man, that's pretty intense. So how's the whole we got to get into some Magento topic soon here, but I'm curious, like, how does the whole Spotify thing, like, do you just you're on Spotify?
Isn't that weird?
Kind of weird.
Well, the last time I recorded a project, I wasn't on, we still made physical CDs. That was
yeah.
That's how long it's been. Who uses CDs anymore?
We use CDs because they work in the car still.
Yeah, and my kids use them all the time.
My wife got a CD. I was like, what are you going to do with that? She's like, put it in the car. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Actually,
you don't just stream your music in the car, man? Come on, give it time.
Well, one of the we have two 2016 Hondas, CRV and an Accord. And one of them is a lot more, it hooks up a lot easier. The other one, there's constantly issues. The display doesn't hook up with it. So we don't really end up using it quite as much.
Yeah. That's so it's one of those things where I had to sort of learn some stuff along the way, which is, apparently there are whole platforms now just for signing up as an artist for streaming and stuff like that. So we used a platform called DistroKid, which puts it on all the services, Amazon Music and Google. Gotcha. And Instagram has a music service now where you can add music to stories.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like this. It's just a whole new world. It's I'm so old now.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
man. How old are you? You're 30.
38.
38. I'm 37. I'll be 38 this year.
I'm the old man.
Yeah.
But I can still play guitar. That feels pretty good. Actually, speaking of which, you want to get to Magento content. What an insane thing that Atwix put together. Can we share that image? Is that a possibility? Atwix did an awesome thing. Last year, they had a. I'll be right there. Thank you. Sorry, someone's come into my office. Here, Busk for a minute. Talk about the Atwix thing.
Okay. So Atwix put out. I think he's talking about some. They did some more artwork, which was super cool for Magetalk. They did some artwork. I guess about a year ago. They did some illustrations of me and Phil, and they. By the way, hey, what's up, Jonathan, in the live chat? Good to see you, man. Yes, the Atwix artwork was great. Yeah, it was. They do great. I mean, they've been doing illustrations for so long. They do it on their blog, and they do a great job with it. It's really fun. And what's up, Mohammed, in the live chat? And so anyway, they did some updated versions of them, and they were pretty cool. So I thought the one of me didn't look like me at all, but it looked cool. So I was like, cool. I'm with it. I'm all about that. Let's see. So I don't know what, yeah. Oh, also we are, I think actually this week, I think we're going to have Slava on the podcast to talk about his trip to Africa. He did this epic trip. I believe he drove to Africa, all throughout Africa. And just like I believe it was for months at a time, and just had an epic time. So we're going to have him back. We had him on the podcast, I think 4, 5, 6 months ago. So we're going to have him back on. He's going to talk all about it. And that should be fun. So hopefully, I think that's going to be this week. And then next week, I believe we're going to have some people from the Magento certification team on the podcast. So I think we're going to be talking. We're going to have Peter Magetalk, and I think actually we're going to have a ton of people. I think we're going to have like way too many guests actually at once, and we're going to talk, I think, about some of their recent certifications and stuff like that. So that should be cool because they're rolling out all sorts of certifications. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I think there's a cloud one. I think there's
Hey,
and
we're back.
One. Hey, I was just talking about the couple of podcasts we have coming up with with Slava this week, and then the certification stuff next week. So,
dude, and the one that we did with Lee Goldsworthy, which
that was good. That was good times.
Holy cow!
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it, because
dude, you need to suggest guests more often.
Thank you.
Just to kind of tease that a little bit, if you didn't hear it already, Lee Goldsworthy, who works for, what's the name of the online store? It's not Great Courses. It's I'm gonna Google.
Course Genius.
Yeah, Course Genius. Yeah. So he works. He's a co-founder of Course Genius, and had they use Magento as their platform, which is sort of their web sales component that goes to their learning management software. And they did I can say now, having spoken to him and having had him on the show, the most exhaustive, most thorough, in-depth, review of every discovery and review of every e-commerce platform that basically exists.
Was when I first talked to him. That was my impression of it, and he was super cool. Because he had used Commerce Hero, and he was like, "Hey, you want to do a case study?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Why are you at?" Because merchants never volunteer to share anything.
No, yeah,
right,
yeah. And I can't get them to do anything.
I was like, "What's this guy's deal?" And he's like, "No, I just really want to share stuff." So we had a couple calls, and he just talked to me and about what he'd been doing, and that was my exact impression. This is the most thorough discovery. I mean, he did 2-week sprints on 8 separate platforms to build. I mean, it's just, so we'll get in. You'll get it on the next podcast.
You can hear it from him. You can hear. But
I thought, I'm not really in the SI world like you are, so I was like worried, like you were gonna say, dude, this is what everybody does. Like this
right.
is, But I was glad to see you. By the way, Jonathan, I was talking about certs. Jonathan in the chat just mentioned the cloud cert is already out, but the mom cert is what I think is coming soon. It's going to be certification in all things mom.
Who? Let me ask.
Magento order management.
Yeah.
Not an April Fool's joke. They're not actually. That would be a good April Fool's joke, though.
That would be a great.
Here's how to be a mom.
Makes I don't know. I'm just asking this question. We've done a little bit of Magento order management, something digital. So I'm not really, I don't know the whole story. We're certainly not the top partner in the ecosystem doing order management, but is it pervasive enough that it needs its own certification? Like,
I mean, we'll have to get into that with them.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's an interesting thing. It's a product that doesn't really get talked about a lot. But it's not terribly sexy either, right? Like I get why.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Meanwhile, they're like, we do have that episode coming up with Peter Magetalk, right? Where we're gonna review the new solution special. Like they're revamping an existing cert that already exists.
Oh, okay.
Like
the solution specialist one.
Yeah. Does that mean that I'm no longer solution specialist certified when that comes out?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
you're
deprecated.
Yeah.
You're deprecated.
That's pretty much my life. I live in a constant state of deprecation.
Just like that hairstyle of yours is deprecated.
Isn't it though? Look at this.
Oh, boom, 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 boom. Actually, it's like
little pompadour. Got a little Johnny Bravo, Johnny.
My hairstyle is deprecated.
Dude, I love the new look. I was saying this in the pre-show.
But my hat.
Look at this.
Shout out to Texas. Oh,
look at the two of us right now.
Just looking cool. Jonathan mentioned, I honestly think the certification is too targeted. You don't have as much access to the code as the rest of the platform. Yeah, so he's agreeing with you on that. Certification is probably too. I believe Jonathan with what company are you with, Jonathan? I don't want to say the wrong company, but he's
you'll enunciate 3/4 of the company.
He's a big deal. He's a big deal. I think he's
kind of a big deal.
Tech lead for a big partner. Anywho,
everyone in the world knows that he works for Corey. That's fine. It's cool.
But Corey, I was right. See, I was right. Anyways, what the heck were we about to talk about?
I don't know, but
oh yeah, order management. I don't totally understand it. Every time somebody talks about it, I'm like, what exactly is the difference between that and ERP? And then they basically wave their hands for 5 minutes and don't say anything. So I think that's why it can be a large area of specialty if you're talking about essentially all of ERP.
I'll give you a good example of where order management would have come in handy for me recently. Nike. So Nike, I like shoes. I've been looking for a new pair of running shoes.
How many pairs of running shoes?
I have three pairs. I only have 3 pairs of running shoes at any given time. 3. One is my sort of long run shoe, which has a lot of cushion. I have a trail running shoe, which gets really nasty and funky because it goes in like swamps and stuff. And then I've got my travel running shoes.
Just kicking alligators, just running through Florida swamps.
Just like,
just
kicking
MMA elbows.
I've got the elbows like Conor McGregor. I get stopped once a week. People think I'm Conor McGregor all the time.
Give them the Stockton slap to the elevator.
To
the alligator.
To the elevator. I'm beating up elevators and beating up alligators.
Slapping elevators.
Slapping elevators, show title.
Punching the buttons on the elevator to just aggressive.
So I have this
3 pairs of shoes. 3 pairs of shoes.
So I've been looking for a new pair of travel running shoes. And I got a push notification to an app, to my Nike app, which, is like not a thing I pay attention to ever. And I thought they were all turned off. So that's kind of weird and hand wavy. Speaking of hand waving. And it's like 40% off on running shoes. I'm like, sign me up. So I went over, and it's a shoe that I kind of been looking at. I'm like, do I want the shoe? I don't know. So I went and I bought the shoe, and I got an error in the app. And I'm like, well, that's stupid. So then I tried it again. And it's like, error, please try again later. And I'm like, okay, that's 2 times. So then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to try it one more time. And if I'm not going to get the shoe, I'm not going to get it. And I hit it again. I was like, maybe they sold out because maybe everybody got the 40% off and now everybody's buying. Who knows? So then I hit it again, and it was a PayPal error. And I'm like, I have PayPal as my payment method. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the payment method because I'm smart and I work in e-commerce. So I put in a new, that's thinking with your Hendrix right there.
Smart.
So I put in American Express, bang, bang, boom, order confirmation, all said and done. Awesome. Philip's got his running shoes. Until about an hour later, when I got 3 other order confirmations from PayPal, and now I have 4 shipment notifications.
Oh, darn.
And I called them, and I go on their online chat, and I send an email, and I'm like, I do not want 4 pairs of the exact same shoe. How do you not have a system that says 4 orders placed within 10 seconds of each other on 2 different payment methods for the exact same shoe in the same size and the same color, shipping to the same address? How is that not flagged?
Right.
How is that not a thing that you've accounted for as like a weird scenario? Like
That's
rules-based engine, there's where an order management platform
sprinkle a little machine learning on there, detect those 4 orders. Come on.
Do you know what kind of press release they could put out if they had a machine learning or AI algorithm? Like just be like McDonald's. Go buy an AI company just to say that you're doing. You don't even have to do it. Just say you're doing.
Did McDonald's buy an AI company?
They did. They bought Dynamic Yield, which is a personalization engine.
Nice.
And McDonald's, we have a whole thing about it on Future Commerce.
I could tell that was a Future Commerce.
But I just think it's so ridiculous that for a company the size of Nike to not be able to 1 hour after an order's placed stop an order from shipping. Now I've got 4 separate boxes. My wife thinks I've gone on a shoe shopping spree. Now I have to get it like marriage counseling for my shopping habits. And, and then, by the way, they're like, oh, you can take it back to the Nike factory store. So I take the 3 boxes to the Nike factory store. Turns out you can't because Nike factory store is effectively just it's like a discounter. It's like an outlet.
Yeah.
They don't take retail purchases.
By the way, I'm on Jackie's side of that particular counseling issue.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
just for the record.
It's always good to take sides with your friends in marital debates. That's
marital debates. That's exactly what you want to do, dude.
That's order management. Order management should be able to fix this. They should be able to consolidate all those shipments, right? It should be able to cancel an order before it's happened. It should be able to have rules that will sideline things for manual review to reach back out to the customer. Maybe you let one shipment go and you hold 3 for a couple hours just to make sure. Like, there's all kinds of ways that they could have handled this with an order, like a robust order management platform. And that's just a real world scenario. It's way deeper than that. Think about, industries like, beer, wine, liquor, where they have shipping restrictions and duties, and it gets very, very complicated.
I'd love to see like little use case. I love hearing about those little use cases. I'd love to see like on a Twitter feed or something like all sorts of different use cases for order management, like that. Little finesse things that maybe you weren't aware of or didn't think about. Be kind of neat.
Jonathan says, director of engineering. It doesn't matter. He's not a tech lead, you jerk.
Hey, it's close enough, dude. All these titles, man. Listen. Listen. Let me tell you.
Recruiter.
Let me tell you something
about. This is why you're looking for a job now, Kalen.
As someone who's not a recruiter and who's currently looking for a job, let me tell you something about job titles, man. Everybody uses the same job title, like different job titles for the same thing. You try to drill in on what exactly the difference is between a solution architect, a tech lead, and a project manager. And you're gonna have some problems. You're gonna. Speaking of having,
they're all functionally the same job and they get paid differently. That's how I see those things. Exactly. Look at this. Look at boom. Deal with it. That's how I say.
Deal with it. By the way, shout out to TJ in the live chat. What's up, brother? So
can you believe we're doing this now? 42 days to imagine, and we're doing a live stream. What's that all about? That's crazy. We haven't done this in a long time.
It is. It has been a while. But we're back and we're better than ever. I'll tell you what.
Can I give a big shout out to Jordan Griffey?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jordan's been handling show notes for us like a boss, publishing the show and whatnot.
Oh no, your tweet was spot on, dude. Like the Magetalk show notes. Dude, are an underrated gem.
Yeah, it's a complete part. It's like a whole different side of it is Magetalk in a different voice. It's like it completely captures the entire spirit of the show, and he does such an amazing job, and I don't know what we would do without him. But it's great. It's a great resource now that we have quite a few of them built up. This like depth of show notes that I use it to back reference content myself. And I did that with one of your banana posts a couple days ago.
Nice.
I wanted to find where the inception of us talking about your
talking about my bananas
and sort of pornographic, obsession that you have with bananas.
It has nothing to do with that.
I'm saying like you're super into bananas in like a very unhealthy way.
This is a family-friendly show, and nothing could be healthier than a banana.
PG-13 at best. And yeah,
healthier than a banana.
Okay, or 20. You just bought a new banana rack. We'll talk about that in a second.
I did. I got 3 from Bed Bath & Beyond.
Because no one can have just one banana rack.
Listen, we were trying to renovate. We were trying to upgrade our kitchen counter. You know how your kitchen counter, like you move into a new place, or you get your kitchen countertops redone. You got these beautiful new kitchen countertops, and before you know it,
they're beautiful.
You've got vitamins scattered all over the place, dirty laundry, toys,
banana peels piling up,
so we had to just tighten things up a little bit.
Ridiculous.
So, that's all that was about.
So we were talking about, I used the show notes to find specifically where we started talking about bananas. I was able to link directly to it. It's crazy. So great job to Jordan. Thanks for continuing to do that. And I put some work in over the weekend to upgrade our infrastructure on the Magetalk hosting side. So we are set for a little while. If only we knew a hosting provider that could help us. Do you know of a hosting provider that could help us?
Kalen? That's a good question. That is a good question. I'm thinking. Scratching the goatee. I'm thinking. I'm getting a text. Why am I getting so many texts? Oh no,
I don't know.
text.
Like you're
Fake
being a little
notification.
cagey about our integrated ad here, and it's making me a little worried.
I'm thinking. I'm just I'm stretching out this ad spot.
Think no
as much as
more.
possible.
I'll tell you who we should be thinking of. Mage Mojo.
Major Mojo, get
Mojo
your
Stratus.
hosting from a Major Mojo. It is very nice and very spicy.
Like you went from like this really weird sort of maybe racist Italian impersonation to Borat, which made no sense at all.
I'm 3/4 Italian, so you can't even try to pull that off.
It's funny because I'm 3/4 Borat, which is
that explains your haircut.
You know, it does, really a little bit.
Really does.
It's very nice.
Very nice.
We should be checking out Mage Mojo, and you should too. If you're looking for Magento hosting or any sort of managed Linux hosting, or if you're looking to put Magento in the cloud, they do it, and they do it really well. Magento 1, Magento 2, Magento Enterprise, Magento Commerce, anything that you can throw at it. If you want to strike a pose, you want to vogue with Kaylin and I, you can do that. Go over to magemojo.com/magetalk. That's magemojo.com/magetalk.
You can only see this in the video, but I'm doing like a little dance. This is the new Mage Mojo dance.
Is it?
Yeah, I just created it. So anytime you
want a Mage Talk meetup for us to do this dance at Imagine 42 days ago.
I just gave them a dance. I just added that to their mix of branding assets. Right. Okay.
In our very limited amount of time left, because I don't have all day. Hashtag essentialism. Hashtag Pomodoro-esque.
Hashtag trying to show off your biceps right there.
Oh yeah. Hashtag. So here's a question.
Sorry, proceed. No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just.
Hold on.
I'm just stretching.
Hold on. Let me just stretch a little bit.
No, go ahead. No, please. Just go right.
This is really sad. This is the saddest we've ever been. I'm sad for us. This is 5 years.
It's okay to be masculine. That's okay. There's too much.
It is.
It's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Tell me in Texas.
Real men have curves. I don't know. So I have a question. What do you know about with our limited time left? What do you know about this whole page builder open source? Magento promised page builder to be a module, and now they're not going to debate. And is this something we should be talking about at some other time?
Tell me about it. Talk to me.
Let me ask you, what was your impression? Did Magento ever at any time offer or commit to putting page builder as a paid module in the marketplace?
As a paid module in the marketplace? I don't actually remember that, because the way I thought of it was similar to how pretty much anything in enterprise, I'm still calling it enterprise,
that's fine.
Which is that it's not like you see enterprise rewards points in the marketplace as a paid module.
Right.
So that was not an expectation I had.
Yeah. Well, you're in the minority of people on Twitter who are not so happy to hear that Magento has sort of rethought that decision and is revisiting it. It's been about a year since they talked about it. Chris Hedge had talked about it a little bit on Twitter about the idea of maybe floating it out as a standalone open source, capable module. But at this point, it sounds like that's probably not going to happen. And some folks were making a fuss on Twitter. Some folks being like 3 people probably.
Okay.
Okay. But it's a topic of conversation. I wanted to get your take on it, and you were unsullied, so I thought I'd ask you.
Well, yeah. I mean, what now? Didn't they release? Didn't it get released just the other day? I remember seeing
it. Did 2.3.1 came out, and it was awesome. It's awesome. I actually have on SD Office Hours last week. We did a live demo of it, but nice. Unfortunately, it's not up yet. The blog post will be coming later this week. So you'll see it, but the live stream is out there if you want to find it. In short, it's great. There's some features missing from Bluefoot, but there's a ton more new stuff that I wasn't expecting, so that's cool. It's a very robust page builder tool. It can do all kinds of crazy things like parallax scroll, and there's some really neat stuff. And if you're really creative, you can build some really powerful stuff with it.
Parallax
stop.
scroll.
I know. You'd be surprised. It's one of those things where people are like, really? That's the thing you care about? And it's like all anybody ever wants. It's weird.
I can't stand parallax scroll.
I know, but you know what? People want it. And you got to give people what they want, Kaylin.
Okay. All right.
You got to give it's like when you and I complain about popovers and passive aggressive, bounce exchange type, are you sure you don't want this offer because you're a horrible person?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to click I'm a horrible person because I don't want to give you my email address.
Mm-hmm.
You know those things? You know how we hate those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Normal people love them. They
Right.
can't get enough of them because they keep working.
Right.
People want those. They want the offers. They want the popovers. They want everything.
I think the difference is that the popovers work when you run A/B tests. They just work. Human beings respond to them.
Yeah.
The parallax thing, I think, does not work. I think it decreases engagement because users get confused, but the people building the site want it because it looks cool. I think that's the difference between those.
They want it because Apple has it, and that's what they want. I can't tell you how often people come. They want a landing page to end all landing pages, and their source of reference is just make it like this, like Allbirds.
Okay, but wait a second.
That's a $1 billion company. That's fine. All
right, but wait a second. We're getting a little ranty on this whole topic, but this is big. This is good news that Page Builder.
This is the point.
Page Builder.
But this is the point. You can do whatever you like. If you want to build that now, you can build it for yourself.
Okay.
You can build that because Page Builder is so robust. It can even do parallax background scrolling. Like it can do. I'm singling out one dumb feature. It's really powerful.
That's really.
And you can do a lot of really stinking cool stuff with it.
It's really cool. And we've been waiting for it to land, and it finally
for 2 years. December 16th, 2016 was when they acquired Bluefoot.
It's friggin' great.
Which will live in infamy.
That's cool.
Probably. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's really
We're here.
Cool.
We made it.
It's great. Our voices keep going higher and higher and higher.
That's so good.
That's fantastic. We gotta do like.
I gotta sample that. That's fantastic.
I love it. I love it so much.
now that Andrea Ward is no longer with Magento, I'm
really?
thinking,
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. When did that happen?
Oh, she went over to Adobe around that time of the acquisition. She's Adobe proper now. Wait, she doesn't work on Magento at all.
Okay.
Andrea works directly for Adobe Enterprise stuff. She's not. I don't think she's focused on Magento at all. You know what's interesting, and I'm just putting this out there at jeopardy of my 42 days away from being the MC at Imagine. Also interesting, we talked about Brad Rencher, who was the head of, basically the head of, well, I think he's ex-Omniture, who came over and head of the whole Adobe marketing suite. Mm-hmm. Right after our episode in January dropped, where we talked all about how much money Brad Rencher made in 2018.
Oh, right. I
remember that? That's Mark Lavell's new boss. He's not Mark Lavell's new boss anymore because Brad Rencher left Adobe shortly after that. Yeah, that was interesting too. They've appointed some new people on the board, and they've basically restructured the way that all of the Adobe enterprise apps are structured under Experience Suite. That's a whole other conversation for another time, because Summit just happened and we haven't talked about the new logo. Did you see the new logo?
I did not. Let me find it. Let me Google it.
You're Pomodoroing just a little too hard,
bro. Listen, I know that I'm Pomodoroing too hard because I'm in the process of bringing it back into the fold.
Yeah,
but just bear with me, man. You got to bear with me.
So here's the best way to get to it. Go to magento.com. Okay. You ready for this? And when you're on magento.com, okay, go down to Magento Commerce is part of Adobe Commerce Cloud. Click on Adobe Commerce Cloud, the hyperlink there.
Go to Magento's part of the Commerce Cloud. Commerce Cloud. Why can't you just send me a freaking link, dude?
Oh, do you want me to send you a link? It was in my Twitter, like always.
Lord.
It's me. All right. You don't want to see it on the website. You just want to take my Photoshop. That's fine.
Get a free demo? Magento.
No. All right, chill.
Magento Commerce is part Adobe Commerce Cloud. I click on Adobe Commerce Cloud.
Here it is. Here comes the link.
I'm like an old person trying to use it.
You're like an old person. Oh, I put it in the big chat.
Oh my gosh, I see it. It's red.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's so small.
Here, I've put it in our presenter chat. You can see it better because I enlarged it from an SVG. I know. So have you ever watched Stranger Things? Okay.
No.
You're gonna kill me. This basically, I think it looks like a Demogorgon. Like if you look hard enough and kind of cross your eyes a little bit, it looks like sort of a demented M is smiling at you, like. Whoa. He kind of looks like he's making that smile. He's like,
oh, I think I see it. It's like the M is going.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Try to impersonate it with your face.
Like this. It's like this. He's like. He definitely, if whatever it is, the creature that makes that sound looks like that.
Wow.
It's an interesting thing. Now, okay, just so now that I've got the sensationalist headline out of the way, the Magento logo will stay the same. This is Adobe Commerce Cloud, which is
because I talked to TJ, who was at the summit, about this Adobe Commerce rebrand, whatever, and he made no sense at all.
Okay, I will make sense.
Is it Magento? Is it not Magento?
They've made a new product that has bundled every conceivable product that Adobe makes into Magento.
Bundled every conceivably product. Okay.
So like Target and analytics and all this other stuff, right? And they are calling that Adobe Commerce Cloud, and it's running. So Magento's cloud, both Cloud Starter and Cloud Pro, run in partnership with Platform.sh on AWS hardware. Okay. Adobe Commerce Cloud has a completely different hardware stack that it deploys to. That is part of Adobe's marketing suite. That is a cloud managed. It is a completely different product. And that means that Magento proper will still continue. Like,
what do you mean? It is a so it's not hosted on Platform.sh. It's hosted on their own Adobe cloud infrastructure.
Correct.
It bundles all of the Adobe suite with Magento.
Yeah, or the relevant pieces of the Adobe suite with Magento. Yes.
So when you say it bundles with, does it include Magento and the Adobe suite within Adobe Commerce Cloud?
Yes.
So it is a superset of Magento.
Correct.
And then you're also saying
it also has access to Sensei, which is like the AI machine learning stuff.
Okay. So, but the Magento piece of it is also standalone Magento, which is going to continue to live and have its own life cycle.
Correct.
And it's also it's a bundling.
That's correct.
It's just a bundling. It's
they've branded it as part of Adobe, right?
Okay. That's so complicated. By the way, TJ said to ease our pain, Adobe made their Adobe Commerce Cloud headers orange on their site.
Yeah, that's true.
That's cool. And he also said he should have used smaller words in the stream that he did with me, which is probably also true, in fairness, because
smaller words for Kalen. That's just the word.
I do tend to understand smaller words a little bit better.
So, and Jonathan says, wasn't it supposed to be Magento Cloud plus Adobe projects? See, Magento Cloud is a thing that we all understand as Magento in the cloud, but Magento Cloud is basically it's a hosting stack. It's like a hosting deployment method in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've heard, and TJ's saying it's not publicly clarified. I have an impression, maybe it's because I saw some Adobe insiders discussion or something somewhere. My impression is that it's a different hosting deployment methodology too. But we'll wait for them to say it publicly. It's huge news. I don't know why we waited to the very end to talk about it.
What is the deal with the new logo, though? Why? If
you look at it next to all of the other, now I'm going to be the apologist. If you look at it next to all the other Adobe marketing,
of course, it looks like the other logos.
Looks like the other logos.
I get that, but if they're not rebranding,
so
is that the new? Okay, so that's the Adobe Commerce Cloud logo. The Magento logo
Yeah.
is going to stay as is, and the Magento product
Yes.
is going to stay as is. This is just the Adobe. That's interesting. That's a little.
Well, you got to let it marinate, right? Also, it's a fundamentally different logo. If you look at it very quickly, it looks way more like the Mage Unconference logo, which was fundamentally like it has that M that comes down the center line that touches the top bracket, which wasn't part of the original logo. The original logo was like a bracket up top and a variant V underneath, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's an implicit M. This is an explicit M. So you might say this is more Magento than the old Magento logo. You like that? You see what I did there?
Yeah, I see.
And on that note, if I had a microphone, I'd drop it, but I'll put on some shades. I got to run.
All right, brother. Good talking. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. This was good. I had about a good solid 10 minutes more of rant in me.
Oh, but, go for it.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Friggin' love it.
We're going to have to call it a wrap. Thanks for listening. Give us a review on everything and all that stuff. Remember the Mage Mojo dance.
Oh, that's one. That's right. It's like this. It's like this. Someone make a GIF of this.
Somebody make a GIF. Give us.
Give us up.
Okay.
We give you a whole lot of it. You got to work with that.
All right. We'll see you later.